Okay, guys, we're back for more Kingmaker in first edition Pathfinder.
Yay!
No, yay. It is only darkness now, my friends.
Oh
For we have seen the
no.
light, and now it is only shadow.
Oh, oh no.
I've flowers to agitate myself on Pathfinder systems. Alright, well, let's get back to this game. So you guys brought you did something. What was it? I think you may have brought somebody back to life or something.
Well, I mean,
Nothing important.
Recaps.
couldn't have been
You
much.
definitely didn't go and find a dragon cult and convince them that Hans was the prophesied one and that they should give you their scroll.
Definitely not.
And
Definitely
then
not.
and then they didn't give it to you. And then you didn't manage to sneak out again. And then you didn't come home and exchange Lucy's life for Hans.
Hey, we did no such thing.
Yeah.
She
No.
exchanged her own life without our foreknowledge.
Yeah, sure. Just keep telling yourself that as the guilt gnaws away at you.
Little do you know.
All right. So when last we left, Hans had just been awoken from his eternal slumber.
Yay.
Go ahead, describe it that way. And dawn had come, but it had not affected Hans.
Mm-hmm.
So do we want to go back to that moment, or do you want to skip forward in the timeline?
Unless anyone had anything really pressing to say in that exact moment.
I really don't know how to handle that moment.
Yeah.
I mean, your friend just came. Your friend and liege just came back to life, and you notice that he is able to look at the sun without covering his face, and his wife is currently holding on to him very tightly. How would your character react to that situation?
It's probably. Ugh.
I mean, I would probably let him talk to his wife
Yeah,
and
just let them be for a little
sit
while.
back at a respectful silence.
Yeah.
and yeah.
Yeah, it's like we picked a really good point to end off on last time because we had kind of run out of things to say.
Okay, so everyone leaves to allow Hans and Elena to
Leave.
get back, talk, right? Because Hans didn't know where he was. That's how we ended things too.
Ah.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, he was. Yeah, I was playing it like he was still. His mind was still trying to catch up to everything that was happening. You know, he's taking in way too much information all at once.
Yeah, it's like going from being basically an infinite being to not being finite again, and it's like, what?
Remembering that. Ugh.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't remember everything. He just has some notions and flashes, if I remember what we decided on correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that's being handled. But even at that, if he recalls the last thing that happened while he was alive, it was an enormous fist coming at his face. That's a bit of a jump.
All right. So I guess we'll say then that Hans has had let's say about a half an hour to an hour to recollect himself, taken back to his dressing room, allowed to put on clothes, wash his face, that kind of thing. If he examines his body at this point, he realizes that any kind of scars that he had before or injuries are completely healed and gone.
Hmm.
It's like, I could have sworn I got hit with a. That... I see. Interesting. What's everyone else doing while that is happening? Are they just... Have they, like, adjourned to...
I've probably actually walked over to Imogen at this point and kind of I'll take a look at where she's at.
She's
Emotionally.
walking home at this point.
Okay. I'll look over back to Hans and Elena and then make my own way over. Probably best to let him process a bit before trying to just jump back into life.
And I am going to have... in that case, I'm going to have Rex stay there because somebody needs to explain the things that happened.
Oh, yes.
Well, is it
Yes.
time to have a conversation with yourself?
No. I'm just going to say that would happen and leave it at that.
Ah, yes, the GM skill of having conversations with yourself. Those are always the weirdest moments.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, even when it happens and and I'm on the outside looking in, it's always felt a little bit weird. It's like, wait. Okay.
Okay, so let's say after that time, there is a knock on the door.
Okay. Yeah, I'm actually going to say he was probably taking some time to just sit down and process before actually going to talk to people. And then knock a door, so he's going to okay, yeah, he's not going to stand up just yet. He's just going to say,
Did you skip out there? I didn't hear what you.
sorry, yes, in that case, he's just going to say, come in.
Um, Elena comes in.
Yeah. He's sitting down. He with his hands up to his head. He's not like looking sad, more pensive than anything. He looks a bit more than he did half an hour ago.
A bit more what?
Here, not quite. Yeah, not as confused or out of it. Basically, his brain is catching up a little bit. And that. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. he probably he probably hasn't noticed that yet.
All right.
Yeah.
So
So he. yeah.
oh, go ahead.
Okay. So yes, he looks. Yeah, he looks up at her, and
Actually, so she is currently let's say she's actually holding something in front of her.
sure, let's go with that. Yeah. uh, yeah, yeah. He's going to.
Yeah, she has um a let's say he's actually still just sitting there inside of the cloak he was wrapped inside of. So she's actually holding some clothing for him and a tray with some water and bread on it. Maybe a little bit of cheese.
Ooh, yum. Sorry, I like cheese.
So she takes a look and she goes, how are you doing? I thought you may want some clothing or some food.
Yes, thank you. He stands up to take those. Yes, thank you. What day is it?
What day is it? Let me look at the calendar.
Oh, yes, calendar.
What day is it?
Oh, it's
Wheel day.
hey,
what day is it?
what day it is? You. I'm so sorry. I forgot that wasn't an easy question.
Well, it should have been if I was doing my job.
Uh,
We are currently. Where's my comment?
oh no.
That's the wrong one.
Is it on the right year?
This is the wrong one.
Yes, I found it. Found the right one.
Oh, good. Oh,
Uh,
I just closed out of it. I think it was the right one. Because I saw someone else go on it.
No, I went on the wrong one. I don't know why. I keep on forgetting which one's the right one and which one's the wrong one, so I don't delete the
Okay.
wrong one because there's the right one. Because
Thank you.
I don't
I'm
want to
going
delete the right
to-
one by mistake.
I'm going to bookmark this right one.
That sounds like a good plan. It is. Oh, appropriately enough. I think it's Sunday. Yeah, it is actually Sunday. It's the one day of week that actually shares the same name, because you guys got back to Levington's Crossing on. What's the F one? What's their version? It's Fire Day,
hold on.
I think. And then Star Day would have been when you performed the ritual, so it is Sunday morning.
So where? Oh, I see. Oh dear.
Okay.
It is, yeah. So,
This one.
she looks at you and she goes, uh, she goes, she goes, Sunday, and then probably stops, look at your face, and then goes, oh, Sunday, the 8th of Neff. Which is almost 2 months later.
Right. Okay.
It's about a month and a half, actually, almost exactly.
surprised by that. He hasn't actually taken the things yet. He was going to, and kind of stops at that. So it's like, looks down for a little bit, thinking. Was I dead?
At that, there's a brief couple moments on her face where kind of like the expression and the fact and the reality of that is all welled up inside of her again. And before she manages to kind of push it all down and say, "Yes, you were."
Um, was back into processing mode for a couple seconds. What? I
I don't.
he looks so he looks at the yeah. Eventually he and set the tray and quick and a drink of water. Partially because partially because thirst, and partially just to uh, just to help him focus on something.
Mhm.
Um, after which he asks, "What exactly happened?"
She waddles over because she is in the beginning of her third trimester, uh, and places the tray down on a nearby table. And then she goes, as I'm told, you guys had gone to place it down, turns back to look at you, but she's still holding the clothes, so it's still somewhat obscuring.
Yeah.
She goes, you guys had gone to take care of some trolls who had invaded a local stronghold and had been causing problems in the area. Um, you had managed to defeat a large chunction of them, wander in, and then a pretty fearsome tool-headed one got the drop on you.
Yeah, he. Okay.
Um,
It's like, yes, yeah, that okay.
from there, Napkip and Borvo managed to hold off the creature long enough so Imogen and Ankara were able to escape. Uh, she waits to see if you are
Uh,
if you have any questions or a reaction to that before maybe thinking about continuing.
um, I'm just gonna treat rather than rolling, my memory of it is fuzzy, so I'll just treat it uh, as though it's my memory. He actually remembers that very slightly different, but sees no reason to change a tiny detail.
Your mind is fuzzy. She's relaying secondhand information.
Right? It's like, hmm. And after that,
She goes, they returned and informed us of what had happened, gathered some reinforcements, and had managed to return and take out the rest of the trolls and retrieve your body. In that time, also, Lucy had.
Sorry, it's like he has. When he comes back to life, he has random burn marks on his face.
Um,
Ugh.
she goes. Lucy had managed to find a legend of something that would bring you back to life. When they returned, they left for the Sky Watch in the north, is where it said it was. From what I understand, they managed to sneak in, get the scroll that they needed returned, and we performed the ritual to bring you back. And now you're here again.
They they all made it out safely, right?
If you want to roll a sense motive with a bonus here, she goes, yeah, they all managed to get out of Skywatch safety.
Yeah. Oh, actually.
I know he's foggy, but it is also his wife, so I'm giving him a +2 to this. It would be higher, but he's foggy.
Okay, I'll just calculate that in.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, he's real foggy.
Yep, he's out of it. Okay. Good. That's not. It's not a very safe place, from what I recall.
No, that was the impression I got. You can ask
Need to speak with them about that. How have this been here?
She goes, good. We've managed to maintain things. You remember my cousin Rex? He was at our wedding.
Yes, I think so. Intelligence check, potentially bluff if this fails.
Okay, he definitely remembers Rex. Apparently, Rex made quite the impression on him somehow.
Yeah. Okay.
What?
You know, actually, I think I know exactly what it was, as well. One, yes, yes, I remember Rex.
Anyway, he's agreed to come and take over Napkip's position.
That's yeah. He looks a bit sad. Actually. Yes, that.
Yeah, because I can.
Position.
Sorry, go.
Yes, the position needs to be filled.
Pants? She says, gesturing the clothing towards you.
Yes, yes, of course. Thank you.
And she hands them over.
So, I suppose, yeah. Has there been he pauses and then he pauses mid-sentence. and is stuck staring at her belly with his mouth open for a while. Just
She
got what he was about to say.
She has a wide, happy and mischievous grin on her face.
few expressions go across his face
Um,
as his mind catches up to that bombshell.
yeah. She goes. I was planning on surprising you when you came home from the trip, but that that didn't quite happen.
Yeah. As she's saying that, yeah, he just to look back up at her, uh, as his face starts to transition to a rather happy expression until those last few words, at which point his face falls a little bit. Sorry, I put you through that.
She walks over, puts her hand on the shoulder, and another one on his face, and she goes, "Shh, it's okay. You're back with us now, and that's all that matters. You're back with us, and you're never leaving us again."
Yeah. Got it. That.
And scene. Because I think that's a cute place to leave it.
Yes. There are other things that can be. Okay, so what I figured probably happened is Rex is a highly observant and a person trained to and piece clues together.
Mm-hmm.
Also, receiving some slight training in Ustalav. He was probably one of the few people in the thousands who have seen him over time to just instantly look at him and be vampiric.
That's Dampere right there.
I don't know why, but the way you said just made me think, well, that there's a gosh darn vampire.
Like, he probably put that together very quickly,
Now
and
that's Dampere.
yeah, and also let him know that he knew. Ah,
All right. Um.
are we skipping to when they to speak to everyone sans Imogen?
I assumed that everyone kind of gave him a couple of days just to stay home and kind of get back to everything.
Yep.
Let me just. It's fine with. Thing that is fine with me.
All right, so we'll skip 2 days forward to the 10th. So Hale, if you want to make notes, you brought him back on the 8th.
It was the 8th. Okay.
Yep. That's when, yeah, because it was from midnight to morning ish. So
Gotcha.
Hold on just a moment. Yeah. Okay, would there be another emergency land meeting at this point, or
no, I imagine you guys can definitely put it off for a week or so.
Okay. Okay. Well, that is happening.
Yeah. So you were informed that as far as the general you were informed of what they told the general populace, that you had been extremely injured and had been sequestered for healing during this time.
Okay. In that case, there are two things I want to take care of. The first of which is, when exactly does Rex get installed as guard captain?
This month?
Okay, so is that happening?
I mean, it was a.
Gets back or after the next?
I mean, the
meeting?
9th was a Monday, so I assume that's a good enough time to start work. So.
Okay, and more importantly, does everyone at his job know that he's the
Yes,
next?
he knows by that point. I believe last time he said that they were kind of like making the introductions, getting the paperwork done, figuring out exactly how the leadership change would affect everything. So that kind of got figured out. So he's able to actually just go and do his job now.
Yeah, okay. I was a little bit unclear as to whether or not they actually knew he was the next guard captain when he was there last.
I believe we said yes.
Okay, good.
I mean, I think the leadership knew who he was what we had determined,
Okay.
and then that's kind of now
Okay.
gone down. So
But to the
everyone
one,
knows.
he knew he was a random guy. Cool. All right. Nice to have a varied reaction. Okay, so that's fine. Secondly, one of the things he would have asked is... Yeah, sorry. One of the things he would have asked is if a memorial had been held for Napkip.
You are told that the first thing they did was to build a monument in his honor, and when it was finished, they held a memorial service as well.
Okay, good. And so next order of business would be probably be to go speak to Ankara, Rex, or Imogen about for specifics about what happened.
That's what I assumed was going to happen on the 10th. To kind of
what's happening on the 10th?
Which is the day.
That meeting.
Oh, after the... Okay, so this is what's happening
Okay. Now. Yes. Yeah. So basically they were like, we're going to give you a few days to get used to coming back from the dead. And
sorry, that was what my initial question was about. Was like, once he's better, is there going to be a meeting?
Yes, that's the 10th.
Okay.
Which is current times. So we can skip forward to that meeting. I'm assuming it's being held inside of the home's study room.
Okay.
Cool. Okay. Okay. And so yeah, Hans will probably just show up. Yeah, that when he does, actually is something slightly. Okay. Yeah, via correspondence, there's actually a fairly notable absence from this meeting. Hmm. There's a couple notable absences from this meeting. Oh man.
What?
Well. Hmm. Okay, so does everyone actually show up to this? Besides the obvious one? Uh, yeah, besides, obviously, Lucy's not there.
Imogen does not attend.
Okay, so then I guess it's just Ankara and Rex, and Elena's there too.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Now, Haley, I don't know if you want to actually exposit or.
What exactly? Okay, yeah. Let's start this meeting. Okay.
All right, so you're inside of the Gunch's sitting room inside of their manor, or one of them at least. There has been placed a tray of you know picking food, I guess would be a good way to describe it, along with drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic. Mostly alcoholic, though. Actually, pretty much all alcoholic because it's medieval times, so everything has a little bit of alcohol in it. Because that's how you disinfect water.
Right.
Actually, I wonder if in the D&D world, one of the jobs of the priest is to actually make clean water for everybody. Because that's a cantrip,
Ooh.
isn't it?
Yes, I believe it is.
It would kind
Yeah,
of
it's
make
purify
sense.
food and drink.
Interesting. So we're all drinking holy water now.
No,
Well,
that's different.
are
Holy
we?
water is blessed. It's just purified of any problems. Man, it's one of those weird things that when you stop to think about it, you're like, wait, magic and fantasy setting, how then does that replace this thing that I know of actual history?
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's see. Upon entering, I will give my greetings to Hans and Elena and ask Hans, how are you feeling now?
I. Quite well, thank you. Much better than I have in some time.
She nods and pauses and looks at him for a moment and says, it is good to have you here, and then takes her seat.
Okay.
All right, so I guess eventually Rix arrives, and after a little bit of pre-chatter, Elena eventually speaks up and states, I believe Rex had, sorry, not Rex, I believe Hans had some questions for you two about the details of what happened.
Ankara puts down her teacup.
All right. Um, Vex is regarding him with a very studious eye, marking all the differences. Um, my his first question is actually, where are Imogen and Lucy?
Elena first looks to you and sorry, first looks to Ankara and goes, "Did Imogen give you a reason why she wouldn't be attending?"
I'm gonna assume not. I'm afraid I was unaware that she was not planning on being here.
Uh, she looks at you guys and she takes Hans's hand and goes, Hans, there's something more we need to tell you.
Rex is no longer looking at him. In fact, he's no longer looking at anyone. He is focusing entirely on the table.
Yeah. When we heard that there was a way to revive you, Ankara is also looking. She's looking. Wait, are we at a table or at just on chairs scattered?
They're probably sitting on a couch together. You guys probably have two chairs around a small
Just coffee table.
coffee table.
Yeah, Ankara is looking somewhere. Her eyes fixed there. She's not even sure where. Upon your death, we returned and were trying to decide on our course of action. Lucy was the one who made us aware of the possibility of bringing you back. She purses her lips a little. In our excitement, we did not question deeply enough the consequences of bringing someone back from the dead this way.
And she goes, and then Elena speaks up with, and so while everyone did in fact come back from there safely, apparently Lucy had hidden from all of us that there was an extra price to be paid.
Rex tenses up quite a bit, and yeah, Hans seems like he's understanding what they're saying. Yeah. Wisdom 14. He can catch on to the things like that, I think.
As we realized what the price was, the transaction. Ankara is furrowing her brow, every word she says just doesn't. After every word she says, she keeps pausing, trying to figure out a better way to say it, but just trails off.
Yeah. It's a bit conflicted. He looks a bit conflicted. I see.
As when we went to retrieve the scroll, it had been kept in a room. The scroll, I beg your pardon, the scroll that we used to revive you, it had been kept in a room. She looks up at you now.
he doesn't look like he's fully paying attention at the moment. He's kind of
Okay.
It's pained, but uh, kind of he forces it down and looks up. Now he's paying attention.
Okay.
Yeah, probably also as after a few seconds of talking and you not paying attention, Elena would have given your hand a quick squeeze to kind of been like bring you back.
Yeah.
The scroll that we found was hidden kept inside a room and guarded. The creatures were, oh dear, what were the creatures again? They were
They were dragon cultists.
dragon cultists.
Yes.
Anyways, they were guarded. It was guarded by keepers, and they spoke of a prophecy of the one that the scroll was meant for. And should I make a check to see if I can recall what the prophecy was?
If you want to, or if you want to make a check. Otherwise, I'm not going to stop you from remembering it.
Okay, would that be wisdom?
That's intelligence.
Intelligence. I have a +0 modifier.
Yeah.
It's pretty recent and pretty important. So you only need to. You have like a 50. You have probably better than as long as you don't get below a 5. Okay, you remember.
I tell him the prophecy.
Yay.
Here's the prophecy, so you can actually tell him it.
Cool. Oh yeah, I was in the chat anyway, wasn't it? For the rebirth.
Why is it? Let's try that. There we go. Ignore that first.
Oh, okay, cool. Thank you. I'm gonna mute this ad quickly because it's kind of. For the rebirth of he who will be king, to crack the egg and begin the hatching, to light the spark with which the blaze will begin. I don't see how this part rhymes, but to return as he should be, not as he's been.
Not as he was.
Not as he was. It just feels like it should be been. To shed mortal husk and in flame be reborn. I look to the.
Just as a note, it works as written poetry. I actually worked with Aaron on this for like half an hour. We were like going back. So I actually got an English major who's good at poetry to help me with this.
Oh yay!
It works with the pentameter. And the syllable count is how it works. I don't know
very much with pentameters, but I get the idea. But
yes.
Anyways, and Ankara looks at the emblem that was made for the group. They said they had tested us and seemed to agree, that you were indeed the one meant to receive this.
How? How did you convince them of that?
Apparently, the mere fact that we had infiltrated, she closes her eyes kind of, and it's like, I don't know how happy he'll be about this, but okay. We infiltrated Skywatch in order to obtain it. It was surrounded by a group that clearly did not want any visitors. And so they reasoned that as we had made it there alive, despite all the obstacles, that it was a sign.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, it's also at, it would be at this point that Rex chimes in with, yeah, with a bit more in regards to that. Um, shame that Imogen is not here, because he was actually the one who sing. She would perhaps, from what
Eh,
I recall, she related who you were, and also and also I think what I think what it for them was that yeah, that they requested an emblem or a sign of her, yeah, and she showed them the she showed them the
crest.
crest. Thank you, I couldn't think of the word. Yeah, she showed them the crest of Ambara, specifically referring to as representing you. I did take. Yeah, I did. I will confess, I myself took some slight liberties, um, and stated that your personal ambition was to create this into a kingdom without actually knowing it. Um, let's see.
You good?
Yeah. He expounds upon a few other details, but since I can't, yeah, since I'm having a bit of trouble remembering the details myself, I won't go into them.
Like what?
Uh, just, yeah, what else was found there? And called the actual dragon. Probably a few details as to how the sneaking was actually accomplished, but there were a lot of rules in there. Okay. Does Ankara have anything else she wanted to say about that, or?
Not really.
Um, darn it, why didn't I do that while I was there? Okay, after he's done, Hans does ask, happen to see the coat of arms of the Rogarvia in there?
Give me a second.
Yeah, it's like they weren't specifically looking for it, is the only problem, so...
Did I put it in here? No, I didn't put it in here. Ah, it's the same one as it's still Brevoy's house symbol. There you go.
Cool.
Maybe make that bigger. Ah,
Oh.
Ta-da! That. Now, yeah, there's a problem there. Nobody actually specifically looked for that.
Rex might have seen it.
Might have seen it.
does Rex have knowledge nobility?
Ankara does. If I
He
can
can
find it.
try all of his knowledge as untrained.
All right. Well, Ankara just knows it inherently because.
Yeah.
But if you want to go ahead and make a roll for Rex, it's only like a DC 10. It's something that pretty much everyone should actually know. So.
Now to see if he cares. He does. Okay.
Oh dear, I need to actually
Okay.
bring that over. I forgot about that. I'll let Rex answer for now.
All right. Is that a yes or a no?
I don't think we know what the question was, Caleb.
Did they happen to see the coat of arms of House Regarvia in Skywatch?
Go ahead and give me a intelligence check for Rex then.
Okay.
Let's have Ankar go ahead and give me an intelligence check as well.
Okay. Give me just a moment. Ooh. That looks much better. Okay. Holy
Ooh.
cow, did I need it?
Wait, why do you have a plus 10?
Because I probably looked at the wrong number.
No, go ahead and roll me an intelligence check.
Right.
No, you.
Oh yeah, I looked at the wrong number. That's a +0.
You rolled your
That's
intelligence.
that was a very wrong number.
Ah, well, you got exactly what you needed.
Well then. Receiving a secret message.
Ooh,
Excuse me. Wait.
used.
Okay. Well, I may have spotted it on some rather old garments that had not been used in quite some time. If it was there, then it would have been on, at least how I'm remembering it, it was on the clothing of some zombies that we encountered.
Okay. Okay. Beyond that, I don't think I had any more questions in my head to ask, so... should we just assume the meeting goes forward, or were there other specific things that we wanted to bring up?
Well, since all the people there are actually PCs, was there anything you guys wanted to discuss, or?
Um,
Hmm.
Hello.
at the moment, I do want. Yeah, I did want to have Hans go talk to Imogen after the meeting. I'm not sure
Okay. I mean,
anything to take care of during the meeting at the moment. Yeah, and kind of treating this as something of a catch up, Hans, rather with a more coming later.
okay. So I guess the minute at that point, then you've been all filled in, so the thing comes to an end. Meeting,
Okay.
unless there's something somebody wants to do.
Do not think so.
Um. Yeah. Yeah. After the meeting, Hans is going to see if Imogen's around. So probably starting with
Track
so,
human.
so if you're when you plan to go out, like Elena looks at you and is basically like, "Are you sure you're strong enough to start walking outside again?"
Yes, yes. I've had the longest sleep of my life, I think. Is it enough? Don't worry, I'm not going to be cops or dashing in front of carts or anything. Feeling lightheaded, I'll take a rest.
Okay. Do you want someone to go with you?
Um, it's like, ugh.
Oops.
Yes, but only to a point. That would be a good idea. Um, is everyone still there, or has everyone left and I have to find someone?
I imagine Ankara is still around,
It's like, Gregory, take a break. You're coming.
or you can take Gregory with you.
Yeah.
Uh, no, I'll bring Ankara. As hilarious as it would be to bring Gregory to Imogen's house. uh,
Would he want to go to Imogen's house?
that's kind of the point. But it'd be better to have the other PC involved. Better, more.
Okay, Imogen. Hans asks you to go with him to try and find Imogen.
Ankara, that is.
Yeah,
Imogen asked. Yes, Imogen. Go help find Imogen. Oh no.
she's very good at it. And she would be the first person he should ask.
I don't know. I don't think I can find myself.
A lot of people spend a lot of time looking, trying to find themselves.
It's true. We should.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Yeah.
Uh,
So yeah, he's. No, so yeah, he'll go up to Ankara. Ankara, I'm going to see if Imogen is around. Yeah, around. Would you mind just coming with me? Make sure I don't fall over on the way.
Of course.
Elena gives you a look like, keep him safe.
I nod.
Cool. I guess you guys head over to, I guess, probably more ranger station than Imogen's house, because I think.
I
Yeah,
think
that's
she has a
good
house.
bet right now.
Oh, yeah, but I thought she lived in Elkwood for some reason. Mainly because it's like the actual, because
I don't know where she lives actually.
I would, because I was assuming Elkwood, because that's where the Aristilian temple is, and it's the set, it's like the most inside of the forest, like.
Yeah,
So I assumed that that is her.
and it's the more central of the cities, right?
I guess technically, yeah, it's kind of in the middle. So I figured with all those factors, it would probably be.
Okay, she could live there. Yeah, she's got a house there.
All right, so she probably has. So she probably just stays at the ranger station when she's doing work in, um,
Okay.
Herstrom.
Second
I
here.
mean, yeah, okay.
Well, because the way that I'm basically thinking of this is that, so Herstrom is the capital of your little duchy, at this
Still a
point,
barony. It's still a barony.
almost duchy. And I imagine that the Levingtons are the lord and lady of Levington's Crossing, and that, Imogen, being the other founder, is the lady of, Herstrom.
Yeah. Yes, it is technically larger than most baronies, but it cannot be a duchy unless there's actually a duke or duchess.
Which has not happened yet.
Okay. So yeah, first place to check is the ranger station. Does Hans fall over on the way?
Roll Constitution. What?
Why?
I was gonna say you can do Constitution, you could do Dexterity, you could do Acrobatics.
What is my acrobatics? Higher than all of those. Okay.
You could do just a plain old will check to see if he can will himself to go. Whatever you would like.
Ankara, if you want to find a way to assist me with this,
You could make a
Yes.
you could make a con check to see if you need to make an acrobatics check.
uh, uh, Ankara's just standing beside me to use diplomacy, just being like, "You can do it. You're doing great. Come on."
Going to use strength to hold you up. Yes. I kind of wish I'd thought of that now. So are you actually falling?
No, but
Yeah, I'd make a Constitution check and then see if you need to make like an acrobatics check to steady yourself.
if you want to make a roll to assist to give me a small bonus to this, that would be great.
Where's my... Oh, I need to... Oops. I didn't quite realize I forgot certain ones of my macros. I forgot skills. That's the word. I forgot some skills.
Okay.
I would love to. +3. Do I just add my charisma bonus to
Whatever
diplomacy rolls?
whatever it says on your stat should be the fully calculated out version. You should already have your charisma put in.
In my macros? Or
Yeah, in your macros.
oh wait, it would be on my. It should be over here. No.
Surely it's there. Oh no.
Yeah, I have straight up abilities, straight up defense.
On your sheet, Haley.
I'm
On your
working
character
on my
sheet. It's there.
Oh yes, skills. I found it. Why am I so blind? I did check this like 3 times. I'm just bad at it. I'm just very, very bad at it. Yep. Okay, plus 6. I will be encouraging you with diplomacy.
Okay. Nice.
Thank you. One of these days, I will figure out how to actually observe things.
Okay. 21.
I don't think you could possibly be better. Car's like praising him, and he's like, I'm cool.
Okay.
I appreciate it, but I'm good.
It's like, the sun is actually giving life to me. It's making me feel better.
Yes, vitamin D. Isn't it wonderful?
All right.
Oh, yeah.
On just on his way over, he'll turn to Ankara at some point and just say, for willing to do what you did.
What?
Briefly. He's just like, thank you for... Just, thank you.
You're welcome. I'm relieved to hear that you're not distraught or pained by this.
Yeah, he's like, this is a little bit... It's painful. Yeah. And I wish there was something that could have been done that did not require. Causes there.
As do I.
But regardless, thank you. All right. When he gets to the ranger station, he knocks on the door and waits to be let in, but he'll actually say, if you don't mind, Ankara, I think I'd like to speak to her alone for a bit.
Ankara nods. Yes, I do believe that would be wise.
Thank you.
She doesn't answer the door.
Okay. An elf answers the door.
Yeah.
Not the only person who works here.
For a second, I forgot. I mean, you even said where we were, but my brain still said that we were going to her house.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, hello. Does Ankara happen to be here at the moment?
What?
Oh, Ankara's beside me. Sorry, I was focusing so hard on not calling Ankara Imogen that I did the opposite.
Is Imogen there?
Yes, she's on the The observing platform.
Um.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
by herself.
He looks surprised at first, and he goes, "Oh, my lord, it's good to see you up and about again. I hope you're feeling better."
Yes, significantly better.
She's straight up those stairs. She's on the observing platform.
Oh, no beating around the bush.
Yes, thank you, whatever your name was. Uh, I'm going to assume the character remembered it. Uh, so yeah, he walks up. Is there another door there, or no?
I don't think so.
Okay, so yeah, he just walks up. What is Imogen doing?
Um, she's facing away from where the stairs are. I'm assuming there's some kind of a like balcony of some kind. She's sitting cross-legged, facing outward towards the wilderness outside of the city. She's currently communing with birds, so she has a few of them walking around on her arms and on her head.
Hmm.
And as you approach her, they fly away.
Okay. Um, birds fly away. He kind of pauses behind you and waits a little bit to see if Imogen turns around.
She doesn't.
Okay. Okay, in that case, after after the silence, uh, Imogen?
Yes, Hans.
How are you feeling?
She doesn't respond.
Um, I'm told that you were among the group that obtained um, the scroll to bring me back, and you contributed quite a bit, and I wanted to thank you.
You shouldn't.
What?
You shouldn't thank me.
Um, Hans looks a little bit pained and takes a moment uh, to compose himself. Wasn't your fault, you know.
Imogen stiffens a bit, almost as if to bristle. And she says, all of this is my fault. I shouldn't have let you be the one to take that hit. I shouldn't have let Napkip stay behind. I shouldn't have let Borvo fight by himself. I shouldn't have let Lucy do that. I should have seen. I should have done something. It should have been me. I don't deserve to be alive. I don't even deserve to be Marshal. Why, when I can't save anyone? I can't. Not even now. I'm sorry.
Imogen, you have nothing to be sorry for. No, if you weren't there, then maybe if you weren't there, everyone else would have died as well.
True fact. Ankara definitely would have died because she would have just stayed there. But she's not here to tell you that.
Downstairs.
Imogen doesn't say anything.
Sorry, I just imagine literally what just happened is they're having this close personal conversation, and Ankara's just standing right below and just yells out, "True fact!"
No!
Anyway, sorry, go back to your moment.
Oh, man. He pauses for again, just kind of self. I was told about everything that happened at the fortress, and including some of the things you said about me. I know that's always something that you've tried to make me believe, was that it's actually worth something, that out of who I was and what I believed about myself would rise to become something better than that. Better than what I believed I was, and if I'm being honest, I yeah, many things have happened to me, good things. I never would have allowed to happen if I still thought of myself the way I did a year ago. And point I'm trying to make is that you're not just a walking harbinger of death. You actually left you actually left a positive impact on me. It wasn't yeah, it wasn't your fault that it wasn't your fault that everyone died. And even when I did, you worked to bring me back, even though it should have been impossible. Napkip and Borvo, heavy losses. They weigh on my heart as well, but You shouldn't blame yourself for that. She chose that fate for herself. It is to accept that you have to move on knowing that you wanted it this way. He pauses for again, as though waiting for a response.
She doesn't give one.
You're a good friend, Imogen, and have been my companion for several years now. You're feeling, but I would like to continue to see you continue as Marshal, because I know you are the best person for the job. You trust yourself yet, at least.
You trusted me before and I failed you.
No, you didn't. You did everything you could. All of us did.
I can't have. Not when I lost everything. Everyone I cared about. I lost everything. I was just starting to think that I could care about someone again, without fear of losing them. I had gotten stronger. I could take care of them. Not like before. But I was wrong. I didn't want to lose my family. Not again. Not now.
Um, takes that into consideration. Seems to be considering that sentence. Imogen, how long were you alone?
She pauses and thinks for a moment. 12 years. I mean, I wasn't entirely alone. I mean, I had. She stops short and she covers her face with one hand. And a stream of tears falls down her forearm.
Um, Hans doesn't say anything for a little bit. He just, after a bit, he just walks up and hand on her shoulder and says, he pauses to let her cry it out a little bit more before saying something else. Where are you staying right now?
Here.
I I think it might be good for you if you stayed with us for a little while. I know we can't ever replace Borvo, but you've been more like family to me than many of my actual relations, and we care about you. Obviously, I'll have to ask Elena first, but I'm sure it's fine. I'm sure it would be fine. You'd be all right with that?
She thinks a moment and then nods and starts to stand up.
Uh, all right. It doesn't have to be like, it doesn't have to be right now. You can, it, you don't have to get up yet if you don't need to.
She sort of grunts and ignores him and keeps standing up.
He'll help her up then. Is she is she still crying a little bit?
Not anymore. Like there's still like the signs that it happened, but she's not.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. The yeah. He starts walking back towards the stairs, being to guide Imogen a little bit, just making sure she's actually still able to be on her feet.
She follows him.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Right. It's all right. Really? To me, you know that?
Imogen like is taken aback by that a little bit, and she looks at him really confused, and then she smirks slightly, and she says, "How could I be sister to a squishy noble?"
Uh, he gives a bit of a chuckle at that. Well, it's a little easier than you would expect. Hmm. He continues towards the stairs a little bit more, but then pauses for a moment and seems to be considering something. Where do you want to be?
What do you mean?
That'd be awkward, as though he's kind of isn't sure if it was a good idea to bring it up in the first place. And then be parts of my family, I mean.
Imogen squints at him. and says, "How do you do that? Is this some noble thing?"
Something like that. It's. Yep. Whoop,
Who died?
I'm sorry.
Haley did.
I pressed the wrong
Yeah.
button again.
Yeah. Something like that. Usual, but basically, it would involve me just referring to you as such and adding you to the. Not important, and it's not the point. And just asking if you would like to be part of my family.
Imogen looks at the floor and she thinks a moment. She doesn't look back up at him. She just says, "If you would have me."
Yeah. Yeah, he reaches out to give her shoulders a reassuring squeeze, and continues to guide, half walk with her back to the stairs and back down. End scene.
Yeah.
Cool. So on your guys' way back, something happens.
Oh dear. Hans dies. What? No. He falls over.
Oh wow.
I like to imagine that Hans is actually using his sword cane as an actual cane right now.
Yes.
He did say yes.
Yes, I know. So a woman carrying some laundry, along with what appears to be two of her small children, and she has another what looks to be newborn on her back. And
Imogen is immediately suspicious. What?
Honestly, I don't blame you.
she she sees you, and she looks like hesitant, like, is it worth it? Should I do it? And then she begins to approach you. My lord, my lord.
Yeah, I'm assuming all three of us are walking along the streets back towards the house at this point.
That was my assumption as well.
Yeah, he pulls up a little bit and allows her to approach. Yes, what is it?
She goes. She does a rather sloppy curtsy in your direction. You say you well. I'm walking and walking around again. May your long be rain and fruitful. I hate to bring this to you, but she puts down the wash and she goes with everything that happened with her. With that watch fellow, they've been all out of sorts and having to double time, and no one will listen to me. And she presents her child, and she goes, "This isn't mine."
Oh,
What?
I see.
She goes. She's not mine. I got given her, but she's not mine. I don't know where mine is. Well, see, she points out the newborn's hair. She's got black hair. You notice that the woman's is rather fine. And her the boy that's with her, who appears to be the youngest of the children who are walking around with her, also has pretty fair hair, and the girl, who's about somewhere between 7 and 8, has red hair. She goes, her hair's black and it should be red. I know it doesn't sound right, but every woman in my family, but my mom had red hair. My grandmother didn't, but my great grandmother did. It always skips. If you see my Elsie here, she's got it too. And her eyes don't match.
You're saying is you had a child, but have been given someone else's.
Yeah, I could have sworn she looked different when I gave birth to her, but, midwife took her away and cleaned her up and everything, and
Yes, I understand.
Right, sorry, shouldn't be talking about such details with the Lord and all that, but this isn't, she ain't mine. I understand someone needs to take care of her and give her a home, but I'd like mine back. I've talked to the midwife, and she denies everything, but
because I've been reminded of it, I'm going to make another sense motive roll. Why not? Is she human? Before I add this.
the woman who's talking to you.
You know what? No, I'll just roll it, and I'll just tell you if she's a demon in disguise, or something similar, or whatever. Just subtract 2 from this result.
Or some kind of mad cultist that's going to stab you.
She's a cultist. So long as she's a human, it works. Oh.
Well
You
done.
are 100% convinced without a shadow of a doubt that this woman is telling you the absolute truth that she believes it to be.
Okay.
There is zero doubt in your mind that she is frantically begging for her child in
Okay.
the nicest, politest way that she can. Oh no!
All right.
God,
Would you like me to ask the guard to see if they can find your child as well?
yes, please, my lord. Yes.
Ankara.
Yes. Yes.
For the time being, would you mind? You wish us to take this child for now? I ask to confirm.
She goes, well, if you'd like to, if you need to. I mean, obviously we've grown attached to her. We've been looking after her, and she needs to be nursed anyway. But if there was a switch and you found a real mum, we'd love to give her back. But I mean, someone have to look after her anyway.
All right, I'll try again. Do you feel that you are capable of looking after her for the time being?
She goes, well, we were expecting a third one anyway, and she's here, so.
All right, excellent. In that case, go ahead and continue looking after her. I will see if I can. I will ask someone to look into it and see what they can find out.
Thank you, my lord. She begins curtsying, again, and looks like she doesn't know what to do from here.
Mm-hmm.
Rex.
Yeah, in that case, Hans gives a Hans gives a short bow of the head and turns to leave. Continue back the way he was going. Out of curiosity, when is the official town meeting the official country meeting scheduled for?
The town and country meeting.
So if it's within the week, he'd probably
I mean,
well,
can I,
then
let's say the 13th on Fire Day,
okay.
which would be 4 days
Um,
from now.
All right, so Ankara just and also Imogen, just keep in mind that we will ask Rex if he can take a look into that. Um, and if we happen to see him before then, which could, or if we have time to go tell him before then, we will.
Cool. Well, when you so why don't you guys take a few minutes and figure out if there's anything you want to do before skipping forward, while I take a quick bathroom break.
Do we have any kind of religious house that would be willing to take in a child?
Any of them.
Sweet.
Rex!
Okay.
Excuse me.
Sorry about all of that overly. Yeah. Sorry for the overly long RP session here at the beginning.
No worries.
Trying to get a previously deceased character reestablished. Trying to remember how to play this character. Trying to figure out where I'm going at this and make it up on the fly as I go as well for most of it. Whew.
Well,
Get
if
to
people had a problem with role-playing games, with role-playing, then I doubt they want to listen to a role-playing game.
Well, some people are actually in it for purely the number crunching and the mechanics.
Yes, but at the same time, they would have to still face the fact that there would be role-playing in said role-playing game.
I'm back.
It's what it's
Hello.
called for. Hello.
What are we
Hello.
talking about?
I had a thing for making this almost an exclusive role-playing session with Hans, and it's like.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do, or do you just want to skip forward to the meeting?
Excuse me. Meeting.
Well then.
I'd be fine with skipping to the meeting, I think. Robin?
Yeah.
Cool. We skip forward to the meeting.
Okay.
Go into the kingdom sheet real quick. All right. So Lucy gets deleted.
No. Does she at least get the skull and crossbones on the main title page?
She already does. Can't you see her?
Okay.
She's slightly off the map.
Well. Oh, I see. Yeah. Yeah, I did see that.
Okay.
I just automatically, there were 4 before. There were 4 still. I didn't think too much about it.
You changed one out. You swapped
Yes.
them. All right. So Rex does actually get to give his bonus for the.
Good. And which bonus is that?
It is Dex or
There's nothing higher than that. It's a +3.
okay, it's his dex. I'm like, I know it's dex or something.
His dex and intelligence are tied for highest stat. They're
It,
both +3.
okay, it's death or dex or strength, one of the two.
So,
All right.
3.
Sorry.
That hurt.
I am so sorry.
Hans will get to be added in next month,
Okay.
and then you do get the penalty this month for not having a high priest.
Right.
So for this month, you will have a penalty to stability and loyalty of -2, and you will gain 1 unrest.
But we have a ruler again.
So, okay, cool.
I was gonna say, technically, you had a ruler.
Well, yes.
You have 2 of them now. There
Yes.
are 2 of them.
Okay. And we were adding Chief Soot Scales bonus to stability this turn, so so that's an overall +1 to what it is right now. Cool.
Okay. So with the start of the meeting, Oleg steps up. Well, with we all know what's been going on, and now that the initial minutes and reports have been read, I was thinking the first order of business is we need to discuss who should be replacing this empty seat.
Does he motion to the high priests or his own?
The high priest seat.
Okay.
He goes, if everyone wouldn't mind, me and Spitlana have been discussing things and asking around, and we have 2 possible candidates we'd like to discuss with you.
Yes, that would be good. Yes, name your nominations, Will. What everyone has to... Let's see if anyone has anything to say about them or other nominations afterwards.
Alright. What's it? I can't think of the name of the god and their religion.
The which one?
The merchant one, the one of wealth. And
Abadar?
Abadar, thank you. He goes, well, considering we've had representatives of our other 2 major religions, we were thinking that maybe an Abadarian sitting on the council, since this seems to be a seat that rotates pretty frequently, may be a good idea. For that, we have 2 suggestions. Where did I put the... I'll find names later. Okay. I'm going to describe to you and I will find the names later. Alright, he goes, there's a pretty elderly priest, well loved and respected in the community. A dwarven feller by the name of insert name here. Well loved, well respected, and definitely a leader in the church and the community, who I think would be a well placement on it. The other one is he goes there. We've been hearing stirrings of a general feeling from our kobold friends that they're currently being underrepresented on this council now with the passing of our dear friend Napkip. and they would like one to be placed on here instead. There is a priestess of Ebidor. She is well loved in the kobold community, though not overall as much as the other chap. And she seems fairly skilled. Of course, only being a few years in the faith, she is a rather minor member, but that hasn't seemed to stop us from pointing to someone to the council before. She may not be as skilled in the position, but she probably could grow into it, and it would allow for some representation more aligned to our current populations.
Yeah. Both Hans and Rex are still fairly uncomfortable. Particular subject overall. Hans kind of trying to bury just overall feelings, and Rex very pointedly not looking at and very tensely not looking at anybody.
All right. So this comes from both of us. I don't know if anyone else has any suggestions, but these are the two me and Svetlana agreed on would be the best to push forward. All right then. And
Hans takes
he sits down.
Yeah. Hans takes a moment and just as a suggestion, would Dwarf's name here be amenable to having Kobold's name here as this in training? Have it be understood that he will have the position for now due to experience, but would hand it off to her after she has undergone enough growth?
He goes, probably, though I don't know if that would deal with the immediate feelings of our kobold brethren and such as her not actually being on the council could cause problems. Though I'm sure if the promise is fulfilled rather soon, or stated in an exact timeline of when she'd be taken over, maybe we could put them at ease. Though there shall be some feelings of unrest.
Much unrest has been going on.
Everyone looks kind of nervous. A bit. Loser Napkill has put the watch into quite a beehive, as it were, and not only as our captain, but also as a pillar of that community, and such. So Chief speaks up and he goes, "It's true. Many of my people are feeling rather anxious."
All right. In that case, we'll reverse it. We can install her. Maybe we can reverse it. We can install her as High Priest, but bring insert dwarf's name here, tutor and advisor.
All right, that sounds like a good plan.
Um, does anyone have any objections to this?
None here.
Ankara shakes her head.
No problems with it?
Creston states, "All right, I second the motion then."
All right. Yeah. All those in favor, everyone raises their hands.
Yep.
Motion passes. Okay, so we'll put that into place. Ouch. Okay. Yeah. Were there any other orders of business that needed to be immediately attended to? Events that are going on? What is going on?
What is the current event? Let me go open up a page. That's not there. Here, I put it in here, I think. I forget what the last event was.
Okay. Quick question. Did we get the experience for reaching Kingdom size 25?
I believe so.
Good. Good. Okay.
It's when do you actually get that? It's I don't think the sizes actually correspond to the levels that are over there in the book. But yeah, I think I gave you it because I remember that now from now on, whenever you get to the levels, you actually. Oh, it is 25. Okay, yes. Wait, when was 25? How long have you been size 25?
It happened during the previous month.
Oh, so then no.
Into it.
You did not.
Oh, okay.
Cool. Cool. Everyone gets 800 XP.
Me!
Woohoo!
Surprise!
Surprise!
Good catch, Caleb.
Yay, Kayla.
Ah.
That is a good amount of XP.
Hey, I get up to my 3/4 level with Hans, and let's see, another 800 is do half level with Rex. Oh no!
Oh no?
I think it's because he just got a whole bunch of skill points is the problem.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. That and want that. So.
Dear. I need to move that.
Yeah, would we once? Yeah, would this be the time we take our kingdom turn?
Yeah,
or is-
yeah. I was waiting in for you to maybe also roleplay talking if you're bringing up the thing that happened with the woman at the council.
I think
I was thinking
will.
we'd probably. Hans was probably waiting to bring it up to him, like after the meeting ended, rather than bring it up to everybody. Just bring it up to him.
Well, I kind of want to investigate where the child came from. So I would ask if anyone. I want to ask if anyone has heard of somebody who lost a child or has seen anything suspicious, I guess.
Got it. Okay. Point. Rex does speak up. We've actually been getting a few reports. Women have been. We've had several women come up lately who that the children they birthed. Yeah, the children they birthed have been. They claim that they have been replaced with surrogates, and unfortunately, with the loss of the previous captain, a lot of those reports fell through the cracks. We're only just now how many there are. It would probably be normal to hear of one every now and again, but we've been getting a surprising amount of them lately. I take it people have been reporting to you as well? He asks Ankara.
Have people been reporting
One did.
to me? What? Yeah, one did. One. There was the case of the woman asking us to take care of the child. But as far as I have heard firsthand, it is the first of that case.
Let me see. Well, it's another place to start. So, did you happen to get the woman's name?
Did I happen to get the ones? I, as a player, did not think to ask her.
Yeah, it's at this point that all three of us immediately slap our faces.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
That would be a no.
Yeah. Well, if not, then we can start by visiting some of the midwives and if they know anything there.
Very well.
Or I can revisit some of the women who have previously reported.
Perhaps if some of us were to focus on inquiring after the midwives, and others were to follow up on the women we have heard from.
I'll see if I have anyone available to do that. I'll let you. Yeah, does he have people available at the moment, or will he need some people to handle that for him?
I mean, he has people underneath him, but he probably doesn't have
Yeah.
any close contacts. So depends on what you mean by that.
Yeah.
He has employees. He does not have friends. Does that make sense?
Well, it's more like this is going to be an investigation, so it's like
Yes, he has employees.
he's probably going to be using his employees unless he has literally run out of them.
Yes, he has employees.
Yeah. Yeah. You are able to help, if anyone here is able to help, of course, we would welcome it. Please let me know. Just please let me know that you can do something, and if you're willing to. I also wanted to ask. It seems you've had a serious problem with serial killers. What's
Well, about that.
I brought those. I happened to bring those reports with me because I found that fairly concerning.
Hmm.
Uh, brings forth what, half a dozen files.
Uh, yeah, you guys just kept getting that roll, and I'm like, it's kind of funnier if this is somehow like a continuing thing that just keeps
Yeah.
happening. Or no. It's actually that like it lists like 4 possible options, and I've randomly been rolling for them, and I've gotten serial killer every single time.
Oh
my
my
gosh.
gosh.
I mean,
At this point,
it has a 25% chance of happening, but it's still kind of funny that it's like every time.
every time. I almost wonder, like, if it's. Like, if there was a. What's the word? Backstory.
I figured like I've tried to come up with something maybe to pay off at this at some point, so we'll see.
Yay.
All right, so kingdom making turn.
Yay.
Okay, so first things first, you gain 1 unrest.
Okay, let me put that in once I make it to the kingdom sheet. There it is.
Cool. All right, so then you get to make your stability check.
Okay, so this is a 31. When I actually open the right thing.
Yes, and it is a DC of 45.
Woof. Good. Got it.
You make it, so you
Woo!
reduce unrest by 1.
Ugh.
Okay. Pay your consumption.
Consumption is at 2 at the moment.
Okay. Do we have any vacant magic item slots? Oh, we have the 1 because you guys bought the crate of potions.
Yeah.
That was in
Give me a
Hirschstrom,
bell.
I think?
Well, let's take a look. Minor item slot available there.
Yeah, okay, I think I already got that. So yeah, you're... Okay, so you have the 2 minor item slots. Let me go... Yes, Okay, so they changed the PRD. Like, they've hired someone else to take care of it.
In what way?
Like, there was someone who was running a fan site who now they're just basically like, you're in charge of it because we don't want to take care of it anymore.
Oh.
The official one, not
Oh, okay.
not 20 or whatever that is, the official one, which is what I like to use it because I find it easy. Like the one I like because it comes up and it's easier to search and find something. This one it's easier to actually like reference through it. So
Okay.
I don't like the fact that they changed it, but I guess considering that it's like set now because they're going on to 2nd edition, so
Yeah, that's true.
I'm like, okay, it's just done. Like it's a complete reference of the old edition, so it's not that bad. But anyway, I need to go generate you guys some magic items.
Whee!
Some minor magic items. Ooh, you get a minor wondrous item for the first one. And a minor ring for the second one. All right, let's see what you got here. Minor wondrous item is... Ooh, a lens of detection.
Ooh, nice.
I need that.
Yeah.
I don't actually know what it is, but I immediately assume that it's basically the Eye of Truth from Zelda.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
Lens of detection. Let's see what we got here.
Wondrous item. A circular prism lets its user detect minute details, giving a +5 confident bonus on perception checks.
Yup.
It also aids in tracking,
for
adding a
me.
+5 confident bonus on survival checks while tracking. The lens is about 6 inches in diameter and set in a frame with a handle. Best magnifying glass ever.
Gosh, yeah.
And then the ring
That's
is
Monocle.
a ring of force shield. Ta-da! Cool. That part's done. Unrest. You don't have 11 or higher in your unrest. You have a captain of the watch now, so you again reduce your unrest by 1.
Yay!
It's going down very slowly.
Oh, I believe at the meeting Hans is told about the fact that they now have giants.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, that
that's
probably
the
comes up.
point. Yes.
Hey Hans, you know those dragon that giant you ran into? He had some friends. So now we have about a quarter. We have about 3 giants who are loyal to our kingdom.
Oh.
They're mostly working as loggers, actually. Apparently, when they can just pull the trees right out, it's helpful.
That's good. That's very good.
All right. All right. So filler swap any leadership positions. So I guess technically, you got. Oh, so technically you. No, he was there. Right. You put him in. He didn't get the bonus until this time. So,
Yeah.
So same thing. You've technically put Christos Imars in as your new high priestess.
Okay.
I'll put that. I'll type that in. But you don't get any bonuses until the next upkeep phase. Would you like to claim a new hex?
Okay. Wow, hold on a moment. Hang on. How are we doing at the moment?
I love the fact I noticed this, that basically like your kingdom is almost because it's a hex, not really, but basically it's like a perfect square except for this little part here.
Well, we're at size 25 now. So what are we capable of doing? I don't have the
Okay.
turns up right now.
You can found 1 city per turn. So it's 26. That's when you actually get your bonuses. It changes.
Excuse me.
So after you get to size 26, you can build 5 new kingdoms, 5 new buildings a turn in the kingdom. Claim up to
Wow.
3 hexes, build up to
Whoa.
3 roads, and build up to 2 farms a turn.
Cow.
Okay, nice. So we can only claim 2 this turn, though.
Yes, so you can build 2 buildings, claim 2 hexes, claim 2 roads, and make 1 tile improvement.
Okay, so
Let me change this from add a farm improvement to a tile improvement.
okay. Did we not put a mill here?
Yes, you did. Unfortunately, I was working on this and updating it, and I accidentally didn't fully save everything, so I think that's the one thing I missed. Dang it.
Okay.
But nope, that's not buildings. I want hexes. You, in fact, did build a sawmill. I remember dropping this token.
Okay.
Badoom! Your sawmill.
Okay.
Meow.
So,
I mean, it's not automatic, but they probably actually do have a manual circular saw because those haven't been around since like Egyptian times.
okay, it would actually probably be best if we took a moment to everything was stable before we expanded. Our command DC is already pretty high, and we need more reps. So probably shouldn't be claiming any more hexes this turn.
Okay.
Like right now, the way it look, need a 10 or higher to hit our command DC for stability. It's better odds than not, but that's not exactly where we want it right now,
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine. And especially with stuff like unrest happening and without everyone in position yet, it just seems like a better idea not to increase that right at this moment.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, so you do not wish to. Okay, so you do not want to claim any new hexes. Would you like to build roads?
yes.
Okay, you have a bunch. You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have 5 You have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Not a hex of ours. Wait, this is, though.
Oh, 6. Missed that one. Yeah, you have a bunch of places that need roads.
Okay, let's put one here and one here.
Okay, so nope, I'm on the wrong layer. That's what. All right, so one being in the forest will cost you 2 BP, and the other one is on grassland, so 1. So that'll be a total of 3 BP to build those 2 roads.
Okay. And that's 2 more.
Roads.
So up to 21 roads.
Yep. All right, and then let me open that one. Tile improvements. Okay, and would you like to build a tile?
Yes, we should build a farm.
Where's the tile improvement list again? In case you need to go find it.
You.
Oh, one other thing.
Okay.
Let's finish out this phase and then I'll mention it.
Can we build a farm here?
Yes.
I would like to do that.
Okay. So that is 4 for the farm. You said here, right? This tile?
Let me double check. Where?
This tile?
That one there.
This tile. Cool. Alright, so the farm will cost you that much. And that is all the improvements you can make.
Okay.
You do need to make a stability check to if you wish to keep people from claiming this lair. If you it's more that you need to devote resources to this if you wish to stop people from claiming this lair. So you have to make an initial
Okay.
stability check. And then you will have a -1 until you eventually claim this hex, because you're constantly spending resources to secure this 1 point, which is the old layer of the trolls. So would you like to do that? Every turn you do not, I will make a check to see if it is claimed by another group or organization.
Do you think we can afford that, Kay?
I mean, let's see.
So this will happen during the events phase. So you can wait until after you've built your buildings if that would help.
And how many resources would that take?
So you have to make a stability check for the initial go-to. It minuses 1 BP a turn, and it gives you a -1 to stability checks.
Okay.
What
If we
a
fail, honestly, we put a lot of effort into that to just let people move right back in. So
Yeah, people particularly want to know what Imogen thinks, her being the warden.
Marshall?
Marshall.
Marshall.
Sorry.
What do I think? I'm trying to. I don't know what my professional opinion is. Are we planning on developing that area at all?
Probably if we get down there eventually, yeah. It's a long ways off, though.
Well, the thing is, if something else takes over the lair, it's a possibility that they could cause problems for us in the future. So, one option is to. I don't know if this is actually possible, but logically, if we don't plan on using it at all, or it's just not worth it at this point, we could try to collapse it, which would still cost us some resources, but probably won't cost us as many over time.
That is something I would allow you to do, yes.
It's a very fair point, because the biggest reason for me, at least, that hex is a concern is because of that layer. It has a layout that's kind of hard to infiltrate once someone else has already taken it. I mean, it could be good if we were to send a group there to stay there permanently, but I mean, it's not like we have bandits at our disposal. Pirates to go in a cave. But yeah, it's not like we'd be hiring the type of group that would stay out there for weeks on end anyway, and I doubt we would want to build
Well,
a fortress or anything.
if you
right
guys
away.
want to hire mercenaries and not get the penalty to stability, we can talk about that is also a possibility. It will cost 3 BP a turn though instead, since you are paying a force to do it. You
Try that again. Okay, Joel, what had you said?
If you want to, that's a good point. You can hire mercenaries to take care of it instead, which will not give you the penalty to stability, but it will cost you 3 BP a turn.
Ooh, goodness.
So just to go, and you guys can suggest other options that I'm willing to add, but so your options are your own troops, which will cost you, which you'll have to make an initial stability check to succeed on this, and then it will be minus 1 BP a turn and a minus 1 to your stability check until you claim that hex. You can destroy it for 3d4 BP, which you'll have to roll when you decide to do that, because certain things may happen which will cause it to be easier or harder. So there's a lot of chance involved in that one. Or you can pay 3 BP a turn with also no initial stability check to pay a mercenary group to hold down that fort for you / adventuring party. It's amazing how often they're the same thing.
Okay. Honestly, it might be best to just burn the thing down, take the big hit now, and not have to worry about it at all.
Yeah, we would have to worry about stability. Wait, would we have? No, sorry. No, I'm thinking of the wrong option. Yeah, it may very well be.
So do we want to collapse it?
I vote yes. That those caves could prove quite the problem if they're left as is.
And that's kind of where I'm leaning, so...
Okay.
Okay. Robin,
Yes.
roll me 3d4s, please.
I will do so.
Oh, wait. Actually, wait to do that. Do it during the events phase.
Okay.
Okay. I'm assuming you guys don't want to change your edicts at all.
They've served us well so far.
Okay. So then income phase.
Okay.
Do you want to make any deposits or withdrawals?
No.
Okay. You're not selling magic items until the beginning of next year, which is almost there. So hooray.
Yep, the second month of that year.
All right. Generate me some income. So go ahead and give me the economy check. And what did you want? I'm assuming you still have soot scale giving you bonuses to stability for now.
Right, let's see if we can actually accomplish this. Barely. We actually got it. That's another 9 BP.
Yes. It's divided by 3.
By 3.
Yeah, because remember
Oh,
we changed this how the system works.
we did. I forgot about that. Oh.
Here, I'll update it on my thing. It's divided by 3 now instead of 5. Yeah, magic items don't make you
That's
as much
16
money,
then, I think.
but taxes make you more money now. So that is 16 exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you guys actually get a lot of BP per turn now because you're so much bigger. So
Nice.
I don't know if that if because we're coming to the events phase, so yeah, I don't know if that makes you want to rethink your decision at all.
No.
Okay.
Okay, so what am I rolling? 4d4?
3d4.
3d4.
So we're treating this as the event for this month?
Ooh. Um.
Goodness.
No, this is an extra thing. All right, so that cost you 11 BP to collapse it.
Could have been worse. It is possible.
That's true. That is pretty high, though. That's 2 4s and a 3. That's literally one away from the
It's
highest it possibly
improbable,
could
but
have
it is
tossed.
possible. I'm trying to remain positive.
It wasn't Max.
It was not, in fact, Max.
Man.
You do not have another event this turn.
Phew.
Ah, good.
All right.
So do we have a request incoming, I assume?
As soon as I get that page open. Where did I put it? Here we go. Oh, we forgot to build you guys' buildings.
Uh, let's see. What gives us stability?
All right, so you can build 2 buildings in your kingdom with your current size, I'm pretty sure. Let me double check that.
Yeah.
Yes, you can build 2 buildings. As far as
Okay.
things that would help that,
Brewery, granary. Mill. Oh boy. We could actually build a jail.
I just imagine that Rex walks in. He's like, "Why do you guys not have a jail? We have a pet."
I mean, we
Yeah.
could build a jail.
That we use over here. This is why you have serial killers.
Yeah, it's a little bit pricier, but it gives us stability and loyalty +2, as well as unrest -2. So I like that right
I
now.
like that.
Um, it would probably be the only building we build, is the other thing.
Okay.
But
That's
I'm fine
okay.
with that.
Yeah.
I don't like going below 10.
Cool.
Yeah.
Where do you want to build this?
Let's see. It is a jail, so where is the best place for this?
Yay! I don't have to move you guys.
Lovely.
Now,
Yeah.
you can just go look at the maps yourself.
Here.
Okay, that's where you want to do it? Alright, so just so you guys know, we are on Herstrom. So you can see where Caleb
Okay.
wants to build.
Ah! There's a giant X.
Well, let me look at Lebanon Crossing real quick. Or not, because it will fail to load. Okay.
There's a giant X.
I don't know what to tell you. It's not an X on my version.
I don't know. Would you guys rather have the jail in the capital city or in the or in Leviton's Crossing?
Mechanically, would it make a difference?
Not really. That's more for. This is more for.
Where
flavor
have the serial
purposes for
killers
myself.
been showing up?
I guess technically they started being more in Levington's Crossing because that was your first city.
Levington's Crossing, then.
Leviton's Cross.
Yeah, it's the jail closer to.
Well, I guess that makes more sense because it's more towards where the outskirts of our country would be.
Ah.
Yeah.
And you can throw all those travelers in there who are causing problems.
Yeah, what?
Alright.
So yeah, probably place that over here somewhere.
Oh, do you want to fill up a 4-block, or do you want to put it in where you've already filled up some stuff?
Yeah, we could fill up the 4-block there. What's it next? What are these buildings?
That is a house, that is a maid shop, and Cooper's.
It's the place the jail in the middle of all the magic things.
No.
Seems like a good idea. Now specializing in lock spells.
Wait, if I flip it, will the paths line up?
Oh no. No, they won't.
No.
No. Okay. Ah!
We'll make it work.
All right, there you go.
Okay.
All right, so you have placed a jail.
Yeah.
Okay, in cool Levington's Crossing.
Crossing. Or Hex, that is. There's
So
no
that-
more.
Oh yeah, I'll have to put those. Sorry, I forgot about that. So it is
Where's the other house? Is A. Okay, letters on the side, numbers on the top. So it's A4.
yes.
The battleship formation.
All right, so A4 is a jail. It takes up 1 city block. Gives you no bonus to economy, 2 to loyalty, 2 to stability, and you can immediately -2 from your unrest.
Woohoo!
Unrest is gone, guys.
Yay!
Good.
Cool. Event
So
phase. Now the request.
I shall wait.
If I edit. Well, this is just a full-blown pit of irony.
No.
No, come on! Are you
Uh,
serious? Can we take that off the sheet, please?
What?
and
What? What?
Are you saying there's another serial killer?
No.
oh,
No, I thought there was.
No,
Okay,
Haley.
I thought that's what you were implying. Okay.
No. The request that you got is from an illicit organization.
We request that you tear down the jail now, please.
Yeah, I went to check my messages and it pulled up of course, because that's what I was on, the last thing you put in the group chat, which was tile improvement and special terrain. And I'm like, okay, I don't see what was significant about this. How odd.
Private. I sent you a PM with.
Yes. Which I am. Oh man, I've made the mistake. I've made a mistake. Okay. Yes, here we go. So, our most recent request for a building
Which
is
If you could call it a request and not a veiled threat, what?
a request for the black market.
We don't have the funds for that right now.
-2 BP to make. And
We
item
still
slots
don't.
are automatically filled. Okay, cool. In that case, I will tell them that we simply do not have the funds right now.
Yeah, if they want. Yeah,
Forever.
Yeah, so what happens with actually them is it's a -2 to BP to make like all of them, and all of their item slots are automatically filled. And one time you may make a request for a specific item to be smuggled in with an additional 20% finder's fee.
No wonder that costs 50 BP to build.
They're also real good on their own.
Yeah. Man.
Yeah, the black market has 2 minor items, 1 medium item, 1 major item, +2 to economy, +1 to stability, but a plus of 1 time +1 to unrest.
Yeah.
Yeah, we don't need that back right now.
Yeah, and it's like we only have 13 BP at the moment. We can't even do it.
Yeah.
Okay, no black markets for you. All right, so that takes care of kingdom building.
Woohoo!
Yay. Alright. Is it at this point that we add more things in, or is
What more things are to be added in?
namely Hans's leadership bonus?
Yes, that will happen at the beginning of the next upkeep phase. Cool.
Ta-da.
All right. So what do you guys want to do with about the missing babies?
Whew, have we been able to discover anything?
Yeah, first off, Rex probably tracked down at least sent
All right,
people
so
to track. He probably sent his own men to track down to track down the women who made the complaints and ask them questions about what their babies looked like, their genders.
yeah, so I think the
where
best
they
way
were
to handle
born.
all of this would be with our new friend, the skill challenge.
Ah,
Oh.
yeah, here we go again.
All right. So this one is significantly easier.
Yay.
All right.
Let me just look something up real quick. Yeah, this one is an easy difficulty. So
Okay. Rex has better rolls he can make, but but at this particular stage, he's probably coordinating other people's efforts. So I think I might just roll guard captain profession for him. Which is fine. He's got an okay roll for it. 'Cause- Yeah. His idea is to, at least as a preliminary step or as first step, is to have his men speak to, then get general information, then compile it and see if they can't find any other similarities beyond just
Alright.
that they were kidnapped. Like if they were all kidnapped from the same general area, from the same town, whether it's a specific gender of babies being taken or specific hair color, even. Just
Right. Okay.
Yes.
looking at information, cross-referencing it.
Cool. All right. So you have to get 7 successes before you get 3 failures.
Okay.
And the
Okay.
DC for these, the common DC is 15. Some obvious skills to be used is you can use diplomacy to talk people, to ask questions.
Hey.
You could use disguise to, suss things out, pretend to be somebody else, try and get information that way. Knowledge local would be also a perfect role here. Because obviously you know about the locals, you can talk, chit-chat, figure stuff out that way. And there's a list of skills. Sense motive to, ask people questions and be able to tell if they're telling the truth or not. But you can, of
Okay.
course, make other suggestions. So... All right, so
Okay,
you want to start
cool.
off with Rex making a roll?
Yes. There was one thing I wanted. Hold on. No, don't want that. Don't want that. Sorry, just checking all of my things. And what do I use all of this for again? That's very difficult.
Hmm?
No, it's just the rules for inspiration is he has to make the roll and then decide to use it before the result is revealed. Which just gets very awkward. So I'll spend he's got a few to spare. He'll spend 2 inspiration on this roll because he's not as good at it.
Okay.
Do it before I roll then.
Oh.
15.
Haha.
Good thing I did.
Yes.
Okay, so Napkip was as beloved by his men as by the party,
Uh-huh.
and so you're having a very hard time getting your men in line. Like it's nothing personal, but it is just you are not Napkip. Rex is not Napkip, and so it is causing a lot of problems with the new way of doing things, how you like to be things done. They were like, Napkip would do it this way, and you're like, I'm not Napkip. And they're like, you
Would
sure aren't.
Would I be able to aid him now?
Well, he succeeded. I'm just saying he ran into a lot of difficulty.
Okay.
Yeah. The inspiration is like guy that he trained who actually decided, listen to that and actually provided him with a solid breakthrough.
Cool. All right, Haley, what did you want to do?
Well, I'm going to use diplomacy to talk to people, and maybe I don't know if I can do 2 things with it. That if possible, like try to motivate the guard a bit more, encouraging them. This is more what I thought in the last few seconds. Encouraging them, like for the sake of the name of Napkip, the men that he trained, to keep doing their job and to work hard at it.
Cool. Use the 1 for this, but then if anyone has a failure, I will allow you to try and mitigate that with another diplomacy check.
Okay, cool. So yeah, given how the last thing went, I think I'd rather like encourage Napkip's men.
Okay. You succeed.
Oh, that is a nice number.
You get through to them. I don't think I need to explain any more.
Nope.
All right. Robin.
I think I'm going to do a sense motive check.
Actually, wait. Before Robin, Hans, because I don't want Caleb going twice in a row.
Oh, thank you. Okay. What Hans is going to do. Hold on. What's this?
Okay. Real quick. Let me fill you in. So with 2 successes, I will give you this bit of information. You managed to figure out that all the children that are have been taken are female and replaced with other females, allegedly.
Okay.
Dang. Okay.
I'm wondering if any of the replaced females seem to match the description of anyone of the ones missing.
That feels like it would have to be a check made later.
Yeah, it will.
General perception check just be fine, or
How would perception be useful here? Like by general, do you mean just like a general like examination of like the clues and stuff like that?
Yeah, probably just generally examining everything and
Sure. Yeah, you can go ahead and do
just
perception.
any hidden bits. Okay. I will not count this as against humans because I'm assuming these are from many species. Plus, it's against a piece of paper, not a living human.
That was more that one. I was like, you do have a majority human population, so.
I should have, but oh well.
Hans is still a little foggy. Haley.
Yes.
You can go ahead and make that diplomacy check to try and make this failure less. Cool. Now you'll only get a flat 1 point of unrest for failing that instead of 1d4.
Oof.
Robin.
Well, I guess I could use perception as well then, but Imogen's gonna be like looking at the babies that obviously aren't, like they're not, like the women that are saying that this baby isn't mine, and trying to see if there's a connection between like which baby belongs to who, or if while they're investigating these things, if she sees any suspicious activity going around.
Right. Cool. I don't-
Perception.
I was just like, I'm like, I don't think you even have to roll for this.
Well, I'm going to.
Well, that is a third success. All right, it's back to Rex.
Okay. All right. You would probably question. Yeah, been started to link together. He would probably also be using perception, but specifically to find between everything. Try to find more common threads to
Denominators.
go on. Yeah, more common denominators here
Okay.
before proceeding further.
You have another success.
Okay.
So with 4 successes, you guys are able to suss out that all the babies are taken from human families and swapped out.
Okay.
Along with that, you also after taking a look, all of the children, as I said, that have been replaced with females and are female, and all of them have black hair and mismatching eyes.
Oh.
One is usually blue or green, and the other one is brown.
Hold on a moment.
Okay.
Check.
Does that make it my
something real
turn?
quick.
Yes, it does.
Sweet. Knowledge religion to see if there's any kind of religion or cult that has a practice of this sort.
I
Or-
like it. In fact, I was gonna give you a +2 to that. Yes. So Haley, you have used the secret skill and called
Cool.
exactly the right thing. Additionally, you find between your knowledge and research, probably because you have been researching them, because you know that they are a problem, know that the Gonorias have a history of switching out children for changelings.
I was afraid of that. Okay.
The who?
What cult?
Gonoria. Remember the cult that you found before?
Frick!
I thought so.
What cult?
The one that tried to stab me.
Oh, shoot, that's right.
Okay, that's not good.
Nope. We need to deal with
Well,
them.
we need to round up all the babies then, right? Because they're gonna cause issue because they're changelings.
Oh yeah, how do changelings work in this universe?
Changelings
Do they still just
grow up
fly around
as
and...
no. Changelings grow up as members of their species, I believe, humans, until they feel a call, almost irresistible call to figure out their origins that kind of draws them back to their hag roots. Whether they succumb to them or not is up to individual changelings.
Yes.
Okay.
They are half
They're
human,
completely normal for now.
yeah, they are half human, half hag.
That's a problem.
Purposes, they are perfectly normal for several years.
I think basically until adulthood.
Sounds like it would be.
Yeah. And even then, circumstances do not always dictate that their fate be tragic, but it often is the case.
I think we need to go question the midwives.
Indeed.
That's all right. So so that would be Hans next.
Oh joy. Uh, hmm. Well, then again, could I make an argument for something?
Yeah.
He has tracked members of this cult before.
Yes.
Could I make an argument for survival to look for similar, for similar points that to the ones that he would have seen then?
Yes. But I will make it. But you'll have to make it with a -2 penalty
Fine.
because it's kind of a. It's not exactly what you're doing, but
Anything I can do with this? No, I do not. Okay.
aha.
Yay!
You managed to find about a half dozen women who you suspect as being possible cultists.
Hmm.
Wait, sorry, no, you find about a dozen.
Oh, okay. Ooh, do they happen to have small young children with them?
Well, I mean, because you guys figured this out ahead of time. Don't know if you remember it or not, but you know that that those who are usually attracted to Ganora's cult um, are adulterous wives, embittered prostitute, or spurned lovers.
Yes.
Okay.
So you find about a dozen women who would have enough means, motive, and opportunity to fit into that. You also find out that the majority of these events have been taking place in your capital city.
Okay. Nice.
No, not nice.
Found out.
Isn't that where we have the jail now?
No.
No.
That's right, this
Okay.
is our capital, not that.
Your turn, Imogen.
Okay, I'm thinking...
Don't worry, if we fail, we'll get it next one.
Yeah.
He literally cannot fail this roll.
Okay, I'm going to...
Question the midwives with sense motive.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, someone
Da-da-da.
died.
Da da da. You have 7
Yay!
successes, and you only get 1 unrest.
I've already put
Not
it in.
bad.
Cool. All right. So you managed to question quite a bit of the women. Start putting some pieces together. One second. Question: do you have any magic that you use to aid you with this? Any spells?
Actually, well, with the questioning,
Yeah.
okay, Rex has a spell called Focused Scrutiny.
Guidance!
Yeah.
You gain heightened sensitivity to the mannerisms, reactions, and body language of one creature you can perceive. I can do that 4 times right now. So into perception, sense motive, and survival checks against them.
Also enhanced diplomacy. But that's not
Yeah.
really diplomacy, is it?
As
Never
well
mind.
as a 5 bonus on diplomacy and intimidate checks. So he can't do that to everybody, but the third of people he questions, he will question very thoroughly.
And
Oh.
detect magic.
Alright, so detect. Wow. Okay. So magic doesn't work, But after questioning, and questioning rather well, so you don't actually lead on to what you suspect. But thing, though none of them admit it, you manage to find at least 3 women who you're almost certain are part of the cult, piercing together all the information you have.
Okay. I bring this information back.
Okay. All right, so you guys can just go ahead with the normal RPing now.
All right. So we have lots of leads, but I think the midwife leads are the strongest. And I'm not just saying that because I'm the one that questioned them. Because these women are the most likely ones that have had connections to the infants and would have had the ability to switch them.
It's true, and people hardly seem to question the actions of midwives. Most of the time they're trustworthy, so if one were to act out, then we would hardly know it.
So I know who these people are. Do I know their names? Do I know where they live and stuff like that?
Yes, you
Okay.
do.
All right. So
Do you want to search their homes?
I think we have probable cause at this point. I mean, if that's a law, but yeah.
Question is, what happens if there are more and they see what we're doing to the others?
Well, worst case scenario is
So I will straight up tell you, if you would like to surveil them, like you can use either stealth, perception, or survival.
perception.
Okay.
I will not do
Yeah.
that. I
If
will
you,
stay out of that.
well, those of you who are females, can try and infiltrate the group using. I'm imagining no one's gonna want to do this, but I'm just letting you know it's an option. Use bluff, disguise, or perform.
I have none of these.
I actually have perform, I just found. Oh wait, no, did that say untrained? I'm pretty sure it said untrained. But it's not quite in my character.
You're like, I have charisma, but I'm a paladin, so we don't really
I'm
lie like that.
So charismatic, but not willing.
Rex has a disguise thing. Maybe he could pretend to be a woman.
I'll be busy tailing. He speaks from a place where you can't see him. I'll be busy tailing them.
Tailing, right. Yeah, so I think I'm gonna use perception.
Okay. Gonna use some perception up in here. Let's get a stealth check out of Rex.
I'm going to stay home so as to not screw things up for everyone.
Cool. And what?
I'm assuming this is not all happening in the same day, right?
No, this entire thing, including the skill challenge, is taking over the place of a week. If at least a week.
Wait,
Maybe
are we
longer.
in the new month now?
No, I don't think so. Your council meeting was on the 13th. Let's say that this takes a whole. Let's say that all of this is taking place over 12 days, so it is currently the 24th. If you want to, so 13th was the meeting for the month. 24th is the current date, and when you finished the investigation. So 13th is when you started it. 24th is when you ended it.
Sounds good.
Okay, in that case, I might as well spend 2 more inspiration on this, because anything worth doing is worth overdoing. Oh my.
Yeah, it's literally from the shadows that, like, even Imogen is like, I can't find him. This
What?
is weird. He's speaking and you still don't know where he is when he's like...
I'm not so sure about that. What did he roll? I'm pulling that up.
He rolled a nat 20 on it.
Wow.
then I also committed inspiration to it, which added a 10. so-
Yeah.
See.
Okay, and then why don't you give me a survival check from Hans just to get the full Monty in there.
Okay.
Not as spectacular, but he's coming
At
back
least
to
one.
life.
Yeah.
You do get your +2 from them being human on that, just so you're aware.
Yep. I calculated that in.
Okay, too bad. All right. So after surveilling them, eventually, you manage to put it together that you are. You manage to figure out when their next meeting is going to be.
Oh, snap.
And you believe that it is going to be in a barn on the outside of town.
Are we conducting a raid?
Okay. Alright, so the plan should be to survey the situation. See if we can find evidence of of what we suspect and act on it. My current plan would be to wait in a convenient location where where we can see the barn. I will then become invisible and sneak in, at which point I would have to give some sort of signal if you all need to come in.
I'll probably be able to hear if some crud goes down.
Okay. All right. So the night of the meeting happens, and it is inside of a barn on the outskirts of town.
Yeah.
Okay.
When were they planning on having the meeting?
The night of the 24th.
Oh, it is. Okay.
Yeah.
Because I imagine also that
Right.
throughout all of this, has suggested to Hans that unexpected things happen and Elena might go into labor early. And if so, she should probably have multiple people keeping an eye on everything, just in case. It's like, hopefully be resolved before that happens, but no reason
what?
to take a
Give
chance.
birth at home.
I will be present if some shenanigans are going down. I will see it.
Okay. So who all is part of this raid?
I guess I'm part of the raid.
Okay.
Is stealth required for this raid?
Rex would be.
Okay.
Would I be able to
No.
position myself far enough away?
not for the end stages.
Uh,
I mean, I would like to be there, but if the odds are that I would compromise the situation, then I would rather stay back.
No. You can be there.
Oh, sweet. I'll be there.
okay.
All right. So it's just the three of you then is the plan.
I think it would be good to have. Who's the captain of the guard right now? It is Rex.
Yes.
Yeah.
Silly Haley. What's Chief's skills? role again?
Spy master.
Okay.
He was probably one of the people who actually found out where they were meeting.
Yeah.
Hans be there? Maybe? Or no?
I don't know. Hold on a moment. Yeah, it's like the most likely one. Yeah. It's more likely than not that Hans is currently being forbidden from going anywhere, going anywhere to be part of anything dangerous. Person who makes the most sense is Steven. We don't have his character sheet ready, so
There may be magic involved.
Blair!
That or you could go ahead and try and give me a diplomacy check for Hans to see if he can convince Elena to let him help out.
I don't know if he won. I don't know. Well,
I cast enhanced diplomacy on myself.
Okay, we could have
story.
Imogen try and make a diplomacy check to convince him to come.
No.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen? Think of how well things went last time.
Yeah.
Well, that settles
No.
that.
If there's blowback at all from this, I should and any of that happens to come anywhere near my family, I should be here.
Okay. Cool. So we're taking
Imogen
Magic Boy with you.
Taking Blair, yes.
Great. All right.
Imogen notwithstanding.
Okay. Let's take a 5-minute break, and then we'll come back and deal with this
good.
whole thing.
Good, I need water.
How long do you think it will take?
I hope to end at 11.
Ah.
Doing
Do
okay?
you think we could call it here? Because I do have work in the morning.
I mean, if you want to be a wimp about it, sure.
I will be
would
a
very much-
wimp.
yeah.
Okay.
If she doesn't, I definitely do. I have not this week.
Okay. All right. So then I guess we'll just call it here, and we'll set up for that next week.
Okay.
Maybe we'll have the character sheet for what's his face next week.
Blair?
No.
No, we have Blair's character.
I was gonna
Even.
say, I thought we...
I'll probably have a bunch of the characters. Oh, I don't know, actually, because Sunday and then Monday. I don't know who I'll have ready. I may not.
We'll
I don't
find
know.
out.
I think there may be magic shenanigans where bringing Blair doesn't makes some sense considering he's also one of your combat backups too. So, and I don't have to get all of the sheets ready by then. So,
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Also, it would that would make sure that Steven is free to take up a special patrol and make sure that shenanigans don't go on in the town while that's happening.
shenanigans. All right, cool. All right, so we will reconvene next time on Dragon Ball Z.
No.
Um,
No.
Next time on Kingmaker, I'm being stabbed to death.
oh dear.
To be fair, that could be anyone.
It's, yeah.
Could be stabbed to death with arrows. Could be one of you guys getting stabbed to death with cultist knives.
It's
Could be
true. It's a
anything.
possibility. Hi, sister.
Hello,
All right.
Javi or Hannah, whoever happened to come up.
All right.
Pretty sure.
Talk to you. All right. So we'll reconvene next session. Good night.
Goodbye.